Sauce Gardner is an Indianapolis Colt, and you better believe we're going to talk about that today.
Wait for me to, wait for me to fall off. You'll be standing in the coffin. If anybody says they gave me a bell, they be sleep talking. I could be asleep and walking, river water, drip, dropping, filter on a green gears like fuzzy filters on the walker. Yeah, back row classic since my debut track list. Had the Tahoe smoking since my Rolling Stone hit. Dirty boys, that is us on the game like ticks. Best check, high and low like a crank bank, bitch.
Obviously, the Colts have acquired Sauce Gardner, and that is great. I am very excited about that. We have traded 2 first-round picks, and we have also traded A.D. Mitchell. And we also take on his contract, which really isn't that bad. The contract is like something 700,000 or something for this year, and then a couple 20-something million per year after that. So that's really cool. Very excited about Sauce. It is something I wasn't expecting. If you're a Colts fan and you pay attention very well at all, then maybe you will have paid attention to the fact that Chris Ballard really doesn't very often do stuff like this, and I think our new ownership has a lot to do with it. I feel like, although rest in peace to Jim Irsay, I feel at times he was a bit conservative. He really didn't want to take too big of a risk, maybe take on too big of contracts, and he did it a couple of times. But I feel like with this new kind of almost win now, and we're very good, and so it's tough to criticize when we're winning so many games. It's like, I get why you go out and you get a Sauce Gardner. You do give up 2 first-round picks. It should be late picks, so it shouldn't matter a ton. But they are still 2 first-round picks at the end of the day. And the Jets, they really think they're getting something out of it. And that's what really matters, is the 2 sides come together and they agree. And that's what happened. We're very happy to have Sauce on the team. It seems he's out of protocol, all that. He's going to play on Sunday morning versus the Falcons, which is what else we will talk about. Going to talk a little bit about the Pacers, a little bit about the Kentucky Wildcats, and we'll talk about that. So, a Sauce Gardner aside, let's start with a little injury update here. We have the Colts, in fact. If I can pull it up quickly here. Sorry. We have DeForest Buckner has been moved to IR. He will miss, obviously, a minimum of 4 weeks. And also, on top of that, which that is bad, DeForest Buckner makes up a good amount of our wasn't big enough blow, which DeForest Buckner, again, he takes a good bit of our defensive line. We've also rolled out defensive end Samson Ebicom and defensive end Taekwon Lewis. This worries me, even with all the help we have on defense now, or at least the help we have in corner. It's not going to make up for us playing basically our backup D line. That's not really a good formula. Do I think we're going to lose? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we're going to lose. I'm just saying that it worries me a little bit. There we go. It's falling a little bit. Worries me just a little bit. But I still think we'll be fine. I still think we win this game. Let's jump into this game a little bit. Let's start here with some key stats here. The Colts are, I was trying to pick what I wanted to do. The Colts are currently 7-2, leading the AFC South, of course. Their offensive averaging 32 points a game. We're only allowing 20 points a game. Historically versus the Falcons, the Colts would dominate with 15 wins to Atlanta's 3 in their matchup. So if we do dominate this matchup, I'm happy about that. That's going in our direction. And I think the Falcons are this team that have a lot of parts, or they don't really have a lot of parts that work together. I don't know if it's their quarterback play. I haven't watched a ton of them. But I know that their overall record isn't very good, and if you watch a lot of their games come down to a lot of heartbreakers. I feel like I need to pay a little more attention to the Falcons, although I don't care that much. It's just I kind of thought we were going to win this one, but with all these injuries, I am a bit worried. I'm not going to lie. Sauce Gardner is good, but will he make up for the defensive line? No, he can't play both. Both things. The Falcons ended the game at 3-5, underdogs against a very strong Indianapolis team. They are scoring less and facing consistency issues. This game is key for their playoff hopes. Again, big blow to the injuries as we've gone over. DeForest Buckner's ruled out. Since Ebicom and Tyquan Lewis both ruled out. But, on the plus side, Sauce Gardner has cleared the protocol. He will play. Atlanta injuries, they will be without at least 2 starters on the offensive line. Matt Bergeron and Chris Lindstorm both are out. Also, swing tackle Storm Norris will not travel. That is going in our direction a little bit. You have your backup offensive line, and we have our backup defensive line. Maybe those will match up well and create some better matchups. What to really watch here about this matchup will be the Colts offense versus the Falcons defense. With Indy's offense scoring over 32 points a game, they'll likely push the tempo and capitalize. And we'll come out fast, hopefully. Shane Steichen's had the boys ready. We come out fast, we come out hard, and we come out playing our game, and we can win this thing pretty easily. The Falcons' offensive line struggled anyway. With 2 starters out, protecting the quarterback and establishing their run will be tough, and may hamper hinder, not hamper, which both will work. But anyway, would hinder Atlanta's offense. I feel like we're going to get to the quarterback a lot, even with our backup defensive line, with the backup offensive line and not being the best in the first place. So that's something to kind of watch out for. The Falcons, like I already talked about that. Colts with no DeForest Buckner losing Buck means offensive line front might struggle in the run game, protecting the edge, giving Atlanta a chance to exploit the weakness. Again, maybe if their offensive backup offensive lineman can kind of show out, But we do get a major boost from Sauce Gardner that could really shut down a lot of Atlanta's passing ideas and yards and stuff. I mean, I think the Falcons do have urgency, though. They really do. With a 3-5 record, Atlanta needs to win to stay in contention. Expect them to run aggressively. Expect them to run Bijan Robinson a lot. Whether it works or not, I don't know. But they will attempt to take that pressure off that backup O-line, get him some points going. My final thoughts are the Colts are favored by 6.5 points. Again, Berlin's at a unique landscape, time change, travel, atmosphere might slightly affect both teams. But given the Colts' form on the and the injuries to the offensive line of the Falcons, the edge clearly pretty much goes to Indy. Closing line for the Falcons fans is a must win. It is a must win. That's about what I can say about that. And I think, just to kind of put a bow on it, I think our defensive line, although it might be not healthy, I think our backup defensive linemen will act fine, will step fine in their place we have in the past. It's not really been a problem. So that's, I mean, you can't. I know people are going to be like, well, I know people on the internet now at this point. I know people on Twitter. I know how they act. And what's going to happen is whenever they announce, because this injury is the ones to the defensive line just got announced. So they're going to be on there like, whoa, don't worry, we have Sauce Gardner. It's not exactly how it works. But what Sauce will do is affect the passing game. But he only will affect, a receiver or two. He can't be the whole field. So if they are able to exploit another weakness, I think we could still be in a bit of trouble. yeah, it's not exactly ideal to lose your starting defensive lineman, 3 of them. And that's just not positive at all. Jonathan Taylor is probably in for another big game, or not. Like, he didn't have the best one last week, but I think like he's gonna redeem himself with a another very good game here. Latest defense really isn't that greatest at too much, to be honest with you. So, bet of the week here for the Colts. On Sunday or Saturday night, I'll put in like a whole NFL bet, but I always have a fun Colts bet that I put in, and this is mine. 120 plus yards receiving and rushing for Jonathan Taylor. Colts money line, Jonathan Taylor 2+ touchdowns, and Daniel Jones over 250 rushing yards. That is my bet of the week. I just placed that thing. And that's what I'll be working with. I love getting on TikTok Live and talking about bets, talking about football before the game on Saturdays, on Sundays. We have a 9 a.m. game this week for the Colts, so I'm definitely going to be on there. You guys, if you watch this, go over to TikTok, follow my TikTok, follow that thing. I would say Twitter too, but most people don't have Twitter, so go to TikTok. I post all kinds of stuff over there. A lot of stuff all about the Colts, all about the NFL, the Colts. So I go live on there a couple times a week. Follow me over there. But yeah, what else to talk about? I want to talk a little bit about this man right here. Everybody gonna know him. That is Antonio Brown, AB. Brown has been extradited. Former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown from Dubai to New Jersey on November 6th, that was yesterday, to face attempted second-degree murder charges. He has claimed he is innocent. I'm not exactly sure of the whole story. Antonio Brown appeared before a judge today, Judge Barry, and executed a waiver of infraction. ECPO is notifying the Dade County Sheriff's Office Monday for custody arrangements. Brown will be transported back to Essex County Jail to await pickup by the Florida authorities. Yeah, there's a video here of him, looks like getting arrested. It's pretty crazy. I'm not exactly sure the story. I'm sure it'll all come out. I kind of looked it up, but I'm not exactly sure of what happened. I'm sure we will all find out, but it's crazy, pretty messed up. I feel like I haven't talked enough about the biggest storyline of the week. Sauce Gardner on the Colts is very crazy. A top 5 storyline, if not the top storyline of the week. The Colts normally don't do things like that. When I looked up top 5, literally number 1 is indeed Sauce Gardner clears concussion protocol for the Indianapolis Colts ahead of their matchup in Berlin against the Falcons. So you gotta love that. You gotta love being the headline of the week. No one ever expected this. Everybody said Chris Bowers not gonna do this. Chris Bowers not gonna do this. He ended up doing it. I think Carly Ursay Gordon probably had quite a bit to do with it. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Overpay for Sauce Gardner? I don't really think so. I don't think so because we could probably win with him. So winning with him is all that matters. Then we didn't overpay. If he ends up fluking, then sure, we overpaid. But right now, no, he's pretty cheap this year too. So moving on, the Pacers play the Nuggets tomorrow at 9. The Pacers really not doing well. I think they're 1-6 or 7, something like that. Let's see real quick. 1-7, which is very bad. But it seems like let's see. So the best team in the East is the Bulls right now at 6-1, which is pretty crazy. But we could turn it around. I'm not saying we can't. We got to get our guys back healthy. A lot of injured players for the Pacers. We've talked about this on our last podcast and everything, but the injuries for the Pacers are crazy. Just real quick, I'm just gotta look this up. Because I'm not exactly. TJ McConnell out, Cam Jones out, Obi Toppin out, Andrew Nembhard out, Benedict Mathurin out, Quentin Johnson out, and Johnny Furphy out. Everyone is out. Hopefully some of these guys can come back soon. When they do, hopefully we can pick this up. It is just not fun to watch this team at the moment. They're not really putting a ton, like they're putting effort in and everything, but it seems like they're not that actually worried about it. I know it sounds crazy, but like they're out there like first half, first quarter, like we're gonna get beat by this team, and then all of a sudden they have to pick up, and then it's like we get these guys back healthy. I think our mentality will change, and we'll probably do a whole lot better. Kentucky football. We play tomorrow at 7:30. We actually won our last game. We're playing Florida. We have a chance to win this one. If we win this one, we're playing Tennessee Tech after that next Saturday the 15th. That is at 1:30 p.m. And then Kentucky plays Vanderbilt on November 22nd, and that is yet to be determined in time. Kentucky football is what Kentucky football is. However, Kentucky basketball had their first game. We're excited about that. They beat that Nichols College, as we all predicted. I believe they play today. They play today at 7. They play the Spiro Crusaders at 7. And that'll be fun. Real test will be Tuesday, November 11th at 8 p.m. when we play the number 11 Louisville Cardinals. I'm very excited about that. Kentucky basketball back. Let's say, go Big Blue. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway. Funny, I actually made a post on Reddit. This is the last thing I'm going to say about Sauce, and then we're going to get out of here. But I actually made this post on Reddit 3 days ago, right before the Sauce trade. I said, lots of trade today. What are the chances we make one? And I said, based on Chris Ballard's past of not doing anything other than with Naeem Hines, who asked for a trade, there's no chance we do anything. I really do think we need an edge at least a linebacker or a cornerback. What are your thoughts? There were lots of people saying, no one, we're not going to. One person said, Trey, it's all fan speculation. There's no way we get him. There's no way we get no one. And then the Sauce Gardner trade happened, and this post started blowing up. It has like 12,000 views. It is nuts. Lots of comments, 62 comments. It's crazy. And I think it's a lot because, and I even posted on here, I said, I was so wrong we got Sauce with a bunch of exclamation points. I think that he proved a lot of us wrong, including myself, with this trade, and we're also happy. We just want to get the team healthy again when we play the Kansas City Chiefs after our bye week. I'll see y'all then after the game versus the Falcons, which we will win. Which we're gonna win. Y'all have a great one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.